All right, it's a beautiful Thursday morning. Today, the 30th day of July, 2026. You're on to Perspective Unlimited. My name is Kunle Olowu. And yes, it is another edition of your favorite program, Perspective Unlimited, on your favorite station, Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio. We do Perspective every 6:30 to 7:30, every Mondays to Fridays, to give you in-depth analysis of the stories making the headlines in the country and even beyond. And of course, today I will not be doing the show alone. I'll be joined by my favorite analyst, Mr. Olale Sani. He's here in the studio already. Good morning, Mr. Olale Sani.
Good morning to you, Chief.
Yes, how has it been? It's been a very long week for you.
Well, it's super.
Anything new?
Many things are new. Very many things are new. Well, we give thanks to God.
Yes, we are really going to talk about election in Nigeria this morning. You sent a link to me yesterday. I'd seen it before you even sent it, though, and then I just laughed when I saw it. I knew we were going to have a very, very long conversation in the studio this morning, and I'm sure we are going to begin with that. But before then, let us look at the headlines on the three newspapers we will be checking this morning. I have with me here the Punch newspaper. I also have the Nigerian Tribune, and of course, I have the Guardian newspaper. Starting off from the headlines as seen on the front page of the Punch newspaper, the largest caption this morning: HOS admits mistakes as reps uncover irregular approvals. And then there are three rider stories to that. Reps move to secure court order to produce Adeyemi from custody. Why we could not produce Adeyemi before Reps committee, that's the IGP. And AOGF official confesses giving State House PAMSEC letter to Adeyemi. Those are the three rider stories to that large caption, and those stories can be found on this page 7 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Moving on to other stories now. On the Osun 2026 election, Adeleke kicks as police arrest SSG, 5 others. That story, very interesting one, and you can find it on page 20 of the Punch newspaper this morning. On page 8, on the foreign scene, Trump immigration crackdown, U.S. arrest visa overstayers at airport. And on page 9, on the 2026 budget, government agencies vote 400 billion naira for mosque, palaces, and halls. And then the wider story to that: experts demand zero budgeting over wasteful votes. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, how Obasanjo's team won 30 billion debt relief for Nigeria. That's according to Kunji Iweala. That story is on page 24. And on page 20, COAS names GOCs for 4 new army divisions. And on page 8, TED Fund bars varsities with abandoned projects from 2027 funding. And on pages 4 and 5, hoodlums kill Lagos dispatch rider for resisting extortion. And on page 9, DSS arraigns 5 Ansaru suspects over Oyo school abduction. Now, moving on to the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the largest caption on front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning: tension in Osun as police arrest SSG, 5 others. The rider stories to that announces recovery of 4.8 million naira voters register. And the other rider to that story: Adeleke's campaign council raises concern over arrest ahead of polls. Stakeholders reject police commissioner at meeting. Demands his redeployment. And then the final rider to that story: INEC assumes as credible polls deploys 4,422 beavers, extends PVC collection. Those stories you can find on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Moving on to other stories now. On page 4, Atiku tackles Tinubu over exceeding 2024 borrowing limit by 4.79 trillion naira. And on page 15, plots to remove me is about 2027, not on performance, Ondo Speaker alleges. And there's a wider story to that. Lawmakers allege misconduct as reason for planned removal. That story, if you're interested, is on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune. And on page 28, PFIPC IG asked reps panel to obtain warrant for police to produce Adeyemi. Heads of service admits administrative lapses. And still on front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, Southwest tops in petrol, diesel, cooking gas consumption. That is according to report. And that is on page 5. And on page 4, COAS appoints GOCs for new army divisions as operations begin. And on page 4, again, Nigeria to end visa amnesty by July 31st. U.S. one citizen of fine re-entry ban. And there's another story here on page 3. DSS arraigns 2 Ansaru commanders, 3 others over Oriri abduction. And the rider story to that, suspect plea not guilty. Arraigned man for allegedly raising funds for ISWAP, Boko Haram. And then final one, court varies bail condition for Meiti Allah president. Those stories you can find on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. And on some health issues on page 10. Why watching too much TV in midlife is bad for the brain. That's according to a study. If you are interested in how to know how the TV affects you, well, page 10 is the page to go on the Tribune newspaper this morning. Now, moving on to the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. The largest caption on the Guardian newspaper, opposition flays Tinubu's focus on a re-election, loses confidence in INEC. That story is on page 6. And if you go to page 4 on xenophobia, Lesotho woos Nigerians as South Africa resume talks. And still on page 4, U.S. to stop visa processing at Abuja Embassy, 24 other African nations. And on page 3 of The Guardian this morning, Atiku accuses Tinubu of physical recklessness, faults 12.62 trillion borrowing. And still on page 3 of The Guardian this morning, Brent crude nears $90 per barrel as diesel depot prices jump to $1,670 per litre. And still on page 3, how Nigeria secured $30 billion Paris Club debts relief by Okonjo Iweala. Still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the Osun Post, Amokpito meets stakeholders amid tension. That's the reason on page 5. And on page 15, high interest rates unsettling Nigeria hits 20 years high, says Oxford Economy. That's on some business stories. And PFIPC scandal, more concerns as HOS admits lapses in vetting process. That story is on page 6. And finally, on page 30, on Northern senators back Tinubu's military expansion after Benue Kaduna massacre. Those are the stories you can find on the 3 newspapers we will be looking at this morning as we go deep into the analysis of the stories as seen on the front pages this morning. All right, now going deep into the stories as seen. The story that I was saying earlier that caught the interest of Mr. Sonny and I yesterday when we saw the report. Adeleke kicks as police arrest SSG and 5 others. The story now as seen on Punch newspaper. And I read, tension heightens ahead of the Osun State governorship election on Wednesday as the State Police Command arrested Secretary to the state government, Deslim Igbalairi, and 5 others. I hope I got that name right. The Ademola Adeleke campaign and the Osun State government, however, accused the security agencies of targeting opposition figures in a political crackdown. The police said the suspects were arrested during a raid on Igbalaye's residence in Oshogbo, where they claimed to have recovered the sum of 4.810 million naira, 2 voters' card and voter registrar, and other items suspected to be linked to electoral officers. An allegation the Austrian state government and the governor's campaign rejected. The police stated that among those arrested at the SSG's residence were a suspect on their watch list in connection with a criminal offense already in Osun State. Now, elections have started in Nigeria. We had one about a few months ago in Ondo State, where we thought that would be the litmus test for INEC, knowing how they can perform in the coming election. Now, that of Osun State is on the way. We know there have been some political tensions, especially with Adeleke decamping to the Accord Party. We know he didn't win the first term on the platform of Accord, but he has decamped to Accord. And we know the political brouhaha that ensued with Accord almost getting deregistered by INEC. Now, knowing that the election
not by INEC, by a court.
By the courts. No, it was INEC that...
no, it was a court led by someone the Court of Appeal has actually labeled as someone unscrupulous.
Yes.
Peter Lifu.
Yeah,
He was
I remember
who assumed the role of INEC
Yes.
by ordering the registration of a political party.
Yeah, and I remember
Something
yesterday was
no court
actually...
has any power
Was
to
it
do.
yesterday or on Tuesday? It was
Day
actually
before
that
yesterday, and
the appeal court had
came out to
actually
say it was
come out
wrong.
to say it was wrong. Yes, so
And
thank God that has happened.
They unloaded on him very, very brutally.
Well, so moving back to this story now, we've seen all of these tensions before this election, and now we are hearing about the arrest of the secretary to the state government of Osun State. what does this story really mean? How desperate do you think politicians are to to take, to win an election or to retain their seats? How desperate do you think these people are? And talking about the desperation now, what does this actually mean? What does this spell for Nigerians? Because these electoral seats are not supposed to be where you should make fortune for yourself. It is where you should sit down to make the lives better for the citizens of the country. But we keep seeing all of these things. What does it really mean when you open your newspapers and you see these reports?
Thank you very much. When things like this happen, it's better to not to rely on the words of one against the other. Rather, look at what's happening on the ground. With that, you'll be able to see who is right and who is wrong. The ruling party in Osun State, the Accord Party, has been screaming, loudly as much as they can lately, that there is an unholy alliance between the police and the APC. I didn't take that seriously until yesterday. They had been screaming that a number of their supporters had been killed, others were arrested, intimidated, and all of that. But going by what we saw yesterday, I would say that is classic intimidation. And if you want to raise it a little bit higher, you call it classic terrorism. In all seriousness, the SSG of a state is someone with a known address. If you have issues with him, you don't have to invade his house. You can call him. Chief, we have one or two things to discuss with you. Should he now refuse to come, then at that particular point, you may now say you want to invade his residence. But they didn't do that. Rather, they invaded his residence. And what did they get there? They didn't find guns. They didn't find bombs. They didn't find any nuclear technology there. Rather, they said they found 4.8 million naira, number one. Number two, they said they found a register for elected, voters in a particular ward. I'm coming there. They said they found someone they had been looking for. If I'm not mistaken, those are the three things they said they found. Let's start with the guy they said they had been looking for. If you do not declare someone as wanted, nobody has any right to bring that person to you. It means you are not looking for that person. Are you with me, Chief? Until the police declare someone wanted, that person is as good as me and you, the free guy. But if you now make it publicly known that this person is wanted for this particular offense, if you now continue to harbor that person, then you are wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not aware of the fact that the particular guy they are claiming to be a murderer and all of that, found in the house of the SSG, it wasn't declared wanted. So how exactly did they expect the SSG to know that they were looking for him? That's number one. Number two, are we even sure that this is not an afterthought? That after you arrested him, now let's just label something on the guy so that we can, justify
the arrest or the
arrest
raid
that we have carried out. That's number one. Number two, 4.8 million naira. What exactly do you want to, what message do you want to send by saying you found 4.8 million naira in the house of an SSG? They said that the money is for vote buying. Oh, please, that's nonsense. That's exactly why I'm saying that the guy who was arrested was actually given that tag so that they could label him a bad person. You are not voting there until the next 2 weeks. In fact, a little more than the next 2 weeks. 4.8 million, that's what you use to buy vote for the whole, across the whole state. That's nonsense. What exactly is 4.8 million? A little over $3,000. Is that what any individual cannot possess in their hands? The laws of the land say that you cannot carry more than 10 million naira at a particular point in time without notifying the authorities. This is just 4.8 million naira. The guy has not done anything. According to the law, he has not done anything. Now let's talk about the register. Should you be contesting for an office right now, it is mandatory of INEC to give you the register of everybody who is expected to vote for you and their phone number. I don't know if it has happened to you. People will call you from different campaign offices. Oh, we are from so campaign organization. I would like you to vote for us. I don't know if it has happened to you. People listening to us would have experienced it. How did they get that number? It is in the Electoral Act that if you are the candidate, okay, let's say you are contesting for the office of the president, it is expected of INEC to actually give you the register of everybody voting in Nigeria. That means everybody in the entire 36 states and FCT. If you are contesting for the office of the governor, they are going to give you the register, their names and phone numbers.
The phone numbers.
For everybody in the state. If you are contesting for the office of a senator, everybody voting in that senatorial district will be made. I mean, their data will be made available to you. And if it's House of Reps,
to every contestant,
irrespective of a political party. So what exactly are they talking about? Like, what exactly are they talking about? They are telling us that they arrested someone for what the electoral act mandates INEC to release to that person. Are you okay? Clearly, they are not okay. And that is why I said this is classic terrorism, in my opinion. They are only trying to intimidate the Accord Party guys so that they can lose focus and begin to run helter-skelter. I am from Osun State. I have my bias in Osun State because it's my state. I will not be saying that loud, but trust me, come 15th of August, the party that is intimidating the other will be rudely shocked. Because the more they do this, the more people are going to say, okay, this is where we stand. I mean, what exactly are you saying this guy is guilty of? Had it been that when they were there yesterday, they saw human heads, they saw human intestines and all of that, I would say, wow, this is beyond what you should expect in the house of somebody who is close to someone contesting. But you found something that should have been in his legal possession, number one. You found something of a little more than $3,000, and a guy that you didn't say you were looking for. No, that's nonsense. That is nonsense.
Okay, so you believe now that maybe there are some powers actually pushing the police to actually
go
ahead.
It's not just some powers. The state government has been saying that it is the minister of what's it called? Marine and blue, whatever nonsense that they are doing. I mean, it used to be Minister of Transportation who would be controlling the marine sector, but now they have Minister of Marine Affairs and Blue Economy. Boyega Oyetola, someone who was badly beaten by Adeleke in my opinion, 2018, where they did inconclusive madness them.
So
and in
basically
2022, Chief, with 2022, this guy was defeated. He was sent out of government house as governor by Adeleke. Now, according to Adeleke, and with what we can see on the ground, this same guy is using he's believed to be the president's nephew. So he's using that leverage to do all of what he is doing right now. What I am saying is that there's an expiry date to everything. When he was governor of Osun State, he made his own expiry date. Now he's minister, there's going to be an expiry date. That is most certain. I'm advising him, despite the fact that I don't know him, that it will be beneficial to him if he can tread softly so that posterity will be kind to him when he's out of office.
Okay, so looking at all of what you have explained now, do you think this development can actually influence the turnout or the behavior of political parties on the election day?
It is most certainly going to influence how the people are going to react on the day of election because the average soul doesn't like what we call on the street as cheating. This is intimidation. This is about making the guy lose focus and all of that. The average soul is for justice and fairness, and there is no justice in what's on the ground. There is no fairness in what's on the ground. People tend to rally around someone who is badly cheated. And right now it appears to me that they are cheating Ademola Adeleke. And if history is anything to go by, going by what we have seen in the past, the people of Osun are going to come out en masse to support the guy who is being victimized, who is Ademola Adeleke.
So that's your own take on that?
That is my opinion. That is my view, looking at what things like this led to in the past. It is most likely going to end up in a way, in that particular way again. People are going to come out to say, we do not stand for intimidation. We do
Okay,
not stand
so
for victimization.
let us now say that eventually these people are cleared of any wrongdoing. What effect do you think the arrest will now have on the credibility of the election eventually? Because now this has happened. INEC is taking the back seat, watching what unfolds. Yeah. So let us now say that, okay, after all investigations, as you have analyzed now, well analyzed, and we find it to be so. What do you think will now happen on the outcome of the election? Let's say, for example, that maybe Adeleke don't get as much as everybody expects him to get. What do you think this particular story would have on the credibility of the election in Osun State?
I hope not, but should it happen at the end of the day that Adeleke doesn't gather enough votes as expected, then what he is going to say is that you intimidated my voters from coming out. Your actions before the election made it difficult for my supporters to come out, believing that they were going to be victimized as well. And for that reason, they stayed back home. But guess what, bro? That's not valid when you go to the court. You cannot take that to election tribunal. So he has to find a way to assure the people, to mobilize the people to come out on the day of election. Otherwise, should he lose on that pretext, I'd rather save Johnny.
Now you save journey. Okay, so we are going to go on commercial break very soon. But before that, let's look at Nigeria as a whole. We know that when elections come, a lot of big wigs tend to want to pull their weight, especially in whichever state that they come from. Because you've mentioned now that a certain minister who was formerly in the government office in Osun State.
Governor's office as governor.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, he was in the government office. Is probably the one who, I mean, as Adeleke has accused him, that he's the one pulling this weight. So I think we've talked about it before on this same platform that the ruling power usually it's difficult to defeat the ruling power.
It's not difficult to defeat the ruling power.
It shouldn't be difficult, but in Nigeria, it tends to look like it's difficult.
It is not always difficult to defeat the ruling power. I can tell you free of charge that since 1999, there has never been the outcome of a presidential election that didn't follow the mood of the people.
It did, but you remember that
they may have seasoning and salt and all of that.
Yes, they always have their influence.
The guy who won the guys who had won previous presidential elections were actually the ones who won the real elections.
But you remember that Yar'Adua, for example, after winning his election, came out to say that it was
not perfect, but he said he still won, which is true.
Which is true.
Yes.
Yeah, but what a lot of Nigerians would want to argue is that the ruling power usually has the power to influence. They are the ones.
That is if the opposition parties don't know how to play their game.
So we are still talking in the same, because when opposition gains power too, then it shifts.
Okay, maybe when we are back.
Yes, when we are back, we'll discuss that. Let's go on a quick commercial break now before Mr. Sonny and I would come back to this particular debate. You're still on to Wells Radio, it's 9.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio. When we come back on the second half of Perspective Unlimited, we will go deeper into the analysis of the stories. Do stay tuned.
Your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome to Junior's International School, Ibadan, where academic excellence thrives in an atmosphere of love, care, and safety. With a team of experienced and dedicated educators who inspire young minds in a stimulating environment that nurtures learning, creativity, character, and confidence. Our rich and dynamic curriculum prepares pupils for outstanding success in both local and international examinations, opening doors to limitless opportunities and a bright future anywhere in the world. At Junior's International School, we go beyond academics. We identify and nurture every child's unique potential, raising globally minded leaders guided by strong moral values and godly principles. Join us in shaping tomorrow's leaders today. Admission test into pre-nursery to year 5 holds on Tuesday, 4th August 2026. Venue, Junior's International School, Alafin Avenue, Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time 9 a.m. Admission forms are available online at www.juniorsinternationalschool.com/admissions or at the school premises. Juniors International School, Center of Excellence.
Hello, Miss Flora. Finally, this holiday is here. But honestly, I don't know what to do with my children.
Why? Aren't you excited that you're on break?
Excited? One talks from morning till evening without control, and the other one can barely introduce himself. I'm worried about both of them.
Now you see the work that we teachers put in. But then, I have a perfect solution for you. Why not enroll them into the Wales Radio Media Academy Summer School 2026?
Media Academy for children?
Absolutely. They'll learn public speaking, broadcasting, confidence, communication, and so much more. Matter of fact, I'm enrolling too. I want to sharpen my public speaking skills before the new school term.
Really? Then we are definitely coming.
This holiday, turn potential into purpose at Wales Radio Media Academy Summer School 2026 from 12th August to 18th September. Enjoy 6 weeks of practical media training, studio sessions, and mentorship from experienced trainers. Open to senior secondary school students, teachers, parents, and busy professionals. So whether you're building confidence, improving communication, or turning your voice into a career, this is your opportunity. For further inquiries or to register, call or WhatsApp 0814-694-6928, 0814-694-6928. Don't let the holiday go to waste. Enroll today at the Wales Radio Media Academy Summer School 2026.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you all welcome back to the second half of Perspective Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio. Before we went on that commercial break, we were discussing one or two things which we are going to. No. But before we start, let us leave the phone lines open to our listeners. You can call into the studio now to give your 2 cents on what we are talking about, and the numbers to call into the studio this morning. 0916-893-1000. I'll take that again, 0916-893-1000. You can also call 0915-333-4893. I'll take that again, 0915-333-4893. And the last number you can call is 0911-333-893. Feel free to call into the studio to give us your own perspective about what we are discussing. Okay, so like I said, before we went on that quick break, I wanted to just quickly touch on it before we go to other stories.
The truth of the matter is this. If you look at the history of opposition campaigns in this country, the most brilliant one, almost impeccable, was the one led by Lai Mohammed. It was Lai Mohammed who defeated Jonathan, not Buhari himself. It was Lai Mohammed who defeated Jonathan. Never in the history of this country have we had something like that. It's only now that I am looking at a particular candidate and his media team who are doing something similar to that, something close. It's still not totally there yet, but it's inching towards that. That's number one. Number two, in the history of this country, we have never had a president who has had it so bad. Like a certain candidate is talking about, the biggest opposition to Tinubu is his performance. So his performance is bad. The opposition is they are getting it right. I believe that we are going to have a repeat of 2015 compared to 2016.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
These are the impact commitment.
Adorinke, you have the floor.
Yeah. Concerning Osun State coming election that will take place in August. So I just want to urge the people of Osun State that they should vote their conscience because this Osun election will be a template to 2027 election if truly we want this present administration in the country to proceed or to put a stop to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. So before we leave this topic, I just want to ask you on the final note. I'm saying that a lot of people want to tilt towards the fact that the ruling party would always have the upper hand in elections, normally in Nigeria. That's what a lot of the general public will believe. But you are saying that's probably not the case. So are you saying that in Nigeria since 1999, all our elections has been, in your own opinion, has been credible?
I wouldn't say credible, but I would say that at the presidential level.
Presidential level, yes.
The outcomes have always been what the people wanted.
So that's still,
1999,
that's
Obasanjo won. 2003, Obasanjo won. 2007, it was Yar'Adua who won. 11, Jonathan. 15, Buhari. 19, Buhari. 2023, Tinubu. 2027, I know where it's going to land, but I don't want to say that.
So even this last election, you believe that Tinubu
won? 100, he won.
But that's not the popular opinion.
A lot of people are saying that Peter Obi won.
Well, a lot of people are saying Tinubu just didn't win.
Tinubu won the election. Peter Obi didn't win the election. Wait, let me tell you something. There is mathematics in elections, especially at the presidential level. He did excellently well in the southeast and the south-south, especially in the southeast. But guess what? Of all the 6 geopolitical zones in the country, the southeast is the one that has the least number of voters. The voters in the northwest, they almost double what you have in the southwest.
They
almost double what you have in the southeast. So if you have 100% in the southeast and someone has 60% in the northwest, that person has more votes than you already. So what are we talking about?
All right, so let us leave that matter now and go to other pressing issues as seen on the front pages of our papers this morning. Now there's this report about Atiku. We talk about Atiku a lot because he's been very vocal. Atiku slams Tinubu over borrowing. And now, according to the report, the former vice president and the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, yesterday accused President Bola Tinubu's administration of losing control of Nigeria's public finances following a report that the federal government borrowed far above the limits approved by the National Assembly in the 2024 fiscal year. Now, Atiku said the latest figure, which showed that the federal government exceeded its borrowing, its approved borrowing ceiling by 4.79 trillion naira, pushing total fresh borrowing to about 12.62 trillion naira, underscores what he described as a pattern of fiscal recklessness, opacity and waste.
Okay.
Yes, and waste under the current administration. In a statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication, Frank Shaibu, the former Vice President said Nigeria were assured that the removal of fuel subsidy, increased taxation and other economic reform would reduce borrowing and subsidize the country's finances, but argued that the opposite had occurred. Now, we've seen this again, and Atiku Abubakar is saying that the government has lost control of public finance. Is this actually a very fair statement based on the available facts?
Of course. How can you disprove that? In 2024, the budget made a provision for an over-the-moon size or level of borrowing that I said that was going to cripple the future of the country as regards finances. Guess what? They didn't just borrow what was going to be an issue. They went even beyond what was already an issue.
They went beyond?
Beyond. What the National Assembly gave them approval to borrow.
You thought that was going to be an issue?
That was going to be extremely, in my opinion, it was going to be problematic. They did not even stay at the finish line. They exceeded by 40%.
They were shot the runway.
By 40%. It is injurious to the future of this country to borrow at that level. That's number one. That's irrefutable. That's on one side. On the other side, what exactly are you doing with this money? I like what Atiku has been doing very lately. He has been, telling Nigerians how exactly this particular administration has thrown everybody into the pot of poverty, into the boiling pot of poverty. Let's now juxtapose a little. Let's place what we have now beside what we used to have. When Muhammadu Buhari was there was massive subsidy on electricity. There was massive subsidy on fuel products. Till the last day Buhari was in office, we were buying fuel at the rate of 185 naira. Today, it's 1,300. But guess what? Despite the fact that Buhari brought it down as low as 185 naira, Nigeria didn't spend more than 4 trillion naira on subsidy in 2022. Are you with me, Chief?
Yeah.
4 trillion naira, 4.39 trillion actually, less than 4.4 trillion on subsidy. 2024, the same year we are talking about here, despite the fact that the price of petroleum products had gone up astronomically, they are telling us that Nigeria spent over 7 trillion naira to subsidize, despite quote unquote subsidy.
The subsidy, yeah.
That tells you clearly that there is graft, that they have been stealing our money. Because if it's not that they have been stealing our money, we will still be spending 4.39 trillion naira on subsidy, and we will be buying fuel at the rate of 185 naira.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
Good morning, Chief Olowu.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. This is Benga Mario calling from Apata.
Mr. Benga Mario, you're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I want to talk about the arrest of the SSG, Osun State SSG.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and when I read the report of his arrest, I was trying to figure out what offense the guy has committed. I discovered that they said they were able to, that they got two voters cards on him. And they said some other 5 people are also found in that and they are being arrested. And the question that comes to mind is that how on earth has getting 2 voters cards become a kind of offense?
An offense.
So that offense, yes, because we have seen a situation whereby we saw a particular political party had gotten in their possession various like over 100 voters cards on them. When we had a Ekiti election that was conducted some months ago, we saw that a particular political party was having in their possession over 100 voters cards on them, and police did not go to arrest those ones. Now this guy is having just two on them. Okay, what if personally as I am now, if I'm having two voters cards on me, maybe that of Mr. Sonny and that of yours.
They'll carry you. They'll carry you.
That's by the side.
Yes,
see,
sir.
what's going on in Osun State is a kind of I don't know how to put it. Because Osun State is an accord party state, because the governor is in accord party, and the APC wants to come to the limelight on by whatever means. So they should not just do things in this way. The election is coming on by August 8th. So why on earth should they be? Because the governor has not had a secret side. He has been having a secret side, or because it's an opposition party. And recall that just last week or thereabouts, the policemen in Osun State, they accosted some talks with the NURTW, which was being banned by the government. And does the policemen did anything? Does the police do anything to call the talks to order? They accosted them to the party secretariat. I mean the NURTW. So this thing is I don't know.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, APC must not allow for some other parties to as well leave and not suffocate them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Mr. Mario. But just let us quickly clear that if you have someone else's identification on you.
Wait, Chief.
Yeah.
They invaded the house and they found 2 PVCs. They have not told us that those 2 PVCs
does not belong to anybody in the
people
house. Yes,
that
yeah, but I just want to
household.
quickly clear that if you have someone else's ID card on you, it is an offense. No, you have to be able to prove that the ID card is on you by the person's consent. Yes, by the person's consent. Yes,
it becomes an offense if I steal it from you.
Yes, or you can't produce how you got the ID card. So let us just quickly clear that. So
as regards what I was saying,
yeah.
Article has told us that, despite the fact that these people are not spending on us, now electricity subsidy has been halved, fuel subsidy is gone, and yet you keep borrowing way more than what your predecessors were borrowing. It shows clearly that you are stealing.
Let's quickly take this call as well. Hello, good morning. What is your name? Where are you calling us from? Hello, are you there? Oh. Sorry, please call us back.
And, I like to use the words of, people in the same WhatsApp group, in the same class against them. Yesterday, it was this guy who was...
We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Olowu.
Okay, George from Olowu.
I think we should be addressing issues and not people.
Addressing issues and not people.
Yes. Is it article that is saying that Tinubu's government has borrowed more than what it's supposed to borrow? Or is it true that really they have borrowed more than what they ought to have borrowed? We know, we have been hearing what each time it goes for the borrowing. We ourselves, the public, we are complaining that this borrowing is becoming too much. Because we are not having any effect of whatever he says he wants to do with that money. We are not seeing it at all. So it's not article that is talking. There must be a voice that we talk concerning any wrong that anybody is
doing.
So that is how I look at it. There's opposition in every election. So it's not when somebody talks. Before you used to criticize Obasanjo. Why is he talking? So please, let's address these issues, not people. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir.
I get what Mr. George is saying.
Let's quickly take this call because we this last call we can take. Hello. Good morning.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Ruth calling from Malakia.
Ruth from Malakia, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. As regards statement accredited to Babatico, it's really the fact. Because the APC administration just keeps borrowing and the Nigerians still is to show for it. So I believe borrowing should bring better roads, school, hospital jobs, and stronger economy. But here we are, rising debt with no feasible progress. This is really bad. Our government should please think outside the box and start using the money borrowed to do something that will be impactful to citizens now. They should please do it. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for your contribution. We don't have time again, but let me just quickly ask.
Let me make a reference to what Mr. George said. I mean, we are reviewing what is in the dailies today. Atiku said something yesterday that this government has been borrowing badly.
Yes.
And we are reviewing that on the face value of who said it what he said.
Yes.
I mean, it's okay. It's still fair in my
opinion. No, I mean, it's absolutely fair. And I'm still talking about what Atiku has said and picking one or two from what some of our callers have said. The present administration has been borrowing. Some people will still want to believe that it seems like maybe there has been some infrastructural developments, maybe in terms of roads, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And state governments have been getting way more money than they used to, which is supposed to affect...
All tiers of government have been getting way more than it used to.
Yes, all tiers. So don't you think that maybe this is an effect to show that the borrowing probably should do something for us? Very quickly, please, because we don't have time.
It's not helping us because the money is not being spent on us. And even if you want to pick
No.
And even if the money has been increasing, they have mismanaged the idea. I mean, the matter of inflation. A bag of cement. Okay, let's talk about this place. A bag of cement used to go for 4,500 according to BOA. Now it's going for 12,500. If you are paying them four-folds of what you used to pay them, they will still be using it to do just one project because the prices have jumped up. So why not reverse that? Do subsidy back on petrol, or do subsidy back on diesel, electricity, so that the prices can fall and that money can have value. But the president is not looking in that direction. He's just giving more money to governors and to himself so that they can feel okay and say, oh, okay, the president is doing well. According to governors, not according to Nigerians. The president knows exactly what he is doing. This experiment has failed. It is not helping anybody. If the president really cares, he should have reversed it.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Olowu Kosani. We do not have time again to discuss further on this. You join us again tomorrow at the same time, the same dial, for another edition of Perspective Unlimited. I would like to say a big thank you to Mr. Olowu Kosani for
coming. It is always an honor to be here, irrespective of what
the studio manager is doing. I will not allow you. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for callers for being a part of the show this morning. Remember, tomorrow again, we'll be here, same time, same dial, for another edition of Perspective Unlimited. Do stay tuned for the Sport Gang, as they will be coming in to give us more knowledge in the world of sports. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
Listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.